Alright, y'all, so PMS series, and I was talking about meat and your diet and how it affects how you feel, your emotions, and all that. And I know this stuff sometimes, for some people, sounds very earthy, it sounds organic, it sounds a little out there, and that's because it kind of is. So, but if you really want to be happier, and you really want to make some positive changes in your life and not be stuck in the doldrums, then you definitely want to at least give this a try for at least a month or two and see how you personally feel. Don't just take my word for it. See how you feel for yourself and see what it is that you feel can, make a difference, in your life. One thing I will say as it pertains to getting rid of the toxins in your body, you want to be sure that as you're getting rid of these toxins, that you're only eating organic food, because you don't want to reapply those toxins or reinstate those toxins back in your body. And then you also want to make sure that you're staying away from negative people. I can't stress that enough. And sometimes that's hard, but especially if it's family or if it's some place where you can't really control these things, because how we feel does trigger a chemical balance or imbalance in our bodies. And if we're not careful, we can be detoxing, doing all this stuff all day long, all year long, 20 years, but if we still have those same people in our lives that are always constantly bringing drama, and I'm not talking about people that need a release and are trying to find a solution, and you're helping them and they're helping you. That's a little different than somebody just dumping all their garbage and they're having a bad mood and they're just acting crazy. Obviously, domestic violence, I think that goes without saying, but just in case, if somebody's hitting you, you need to get away from them. And that's not coming from a place where you're stupid if you're staying, because a lot of people have different reasons why they feel they can't leave, and the main thing is fear. And when we are dealing with a emotion of happiness, we tend to be happier. Our chemicals start to produce, or our cells start to produce other chemicals that make us happy. But when we're dealing with a stressful situation, if that's your situation, and a person is negative, number one, it makes it harder for you to think straight. Number two, you are less likely to be obviously happy and think about some solutions. And, the other thing is that if a person is threatening you, or even if a person is just being negative and saying evil things, verbal abuse, calling you ugly, or whatever the case may be, at some point, you have to take responsibility for yourself and say, why am I allowing this personally? And what can I do to change it? And if they have the purse strings, for those that are living with somebody that is abusive, then you have to be willing to walk away with nothing at some point, because it's not worth your life. Because some people are just dealing with a lot of issues, and if they're not willing to go to counseling or get some spiritual guidance, then they're going to continue that pattern. And you can be, for those that are listening to this and this is your situation, you can continue to go organic, you can go natural, and you can do all these things. But if that spiritual or that home life is not what it really needs to be for you to continue that in a healthy manner, then it's going to be hard for you to feel, it's no need in trying all these different things and you're not willing to fix the problem that's, in the home. And I can speak from personal experience through, some folks that I know and some things that I've actually gone through, um, via family or a old person back in the day, but I chose for myself to get away from those folks. And I didn't care what the title was, and I was fortunate enough that I wasn't in a committed situation like that, but some people are, and it's not that easy to walk away. But I would definitely say, if there's no counseling and no spiritual guidance involved, you need to go, because ultimately we're our own worst or best enemy, and if we're not willing to answer some things for ourselves, we can't do anything for anybody else, especially if you have some kids involved. So So anyway, how does that relate to PMS? It totally relates to PMS because again, your emotions are everything. It goes into, you know, your cells. It really does affect you. And don't take my word for it. Again, go look it up. I love saying that because experience is the best teacher. But if you like data, you definitely need to research these things and see for yourself how it makes you feel. So on to the next video, and I will see you. I will see you there. Make sure you subscribe to Nefertiti.